What's up, everybody? This is Jack from the Mindful Homestead, and this is going to be our fall 2020 chicken processing video. Oh my God, let me straighten myself up. I look like somebody that's been processing chickens all day. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Mindful Homestead. Jack here, and as you heard by the intro, this is the video where we process our birds for our fall batch of 2020. We did 60 Cornish Crosses. Well, we ordered 60 Cornish Crosses. Murray McMurray sent us 62 Cornish Cross chicks. We lost a few along the way, and when it came time for slaughter, all in all, we ended up with 54 birds, which by my standards is pretty good. We budget for around 10% loss. 10% of 60 is 6 birds, so on paper, we had a perfect 10% loss. We ended up with 54. A+ in my book. Good going, McMurray. Now, we tried something new with our birds this year, and we pastured them on the area that you see kind of over there to the left of the chicken tractor. We've raised Cornish Cross in these chicken tractors before, not this one in particular, but we've raised them in chicken tractors in the past, and we wanted a more pastured bird this year. Cornish Crosses are not necessarily known for their pasturing abilities. So what we did was we put them in a big 2,000 square foot area with Premier 1 poultry netting around it. We put their food on one side of the pasture, put their water on the other side of the pasture, and if the chickens wanted to eat or drink, they had to walk back and forth between. It's a novel concept. I don't know why I've never thought of it before. So anyway, what that led to in the initial stages of everything was a bird that didn't weigh quite as much as we were looking for. We were actually going to have these birds processed off farm at a facility that does it relatively inexpensively. And as we neared the date that they were supposed to go to the processor, I realized they just weren't growing that well. So at around week 6, I pulled the plug. I called the processor. I said, hey, I'm really sorry. I know we've had this appointment for a while, but I'm gonna have to pull my birds out. Wasn't a big deal. He said it's all right. He didn't have space the next weekend. So what that meant was we were going to have to process them ourselves. So I secured a plucker and a scalder, and we processed the birds here on the homestead for the first time. Now, I'm not new to processing chickens. I've done it before. I've helped lots of other people in the past. I've really tried to put myself out there and get as much experience as I can by helping other people before it came time to do it myself. I'm still not an expert, but I want to pass that knowledge on to other people as well. So I put out the call on our Facebook and Instagram, and I said, if anybody's local to Southern New Hampshire and they want to learn how to process chickens, come on down. This is the day we're doing it. So we started on Friday. I had 2 guys I knew from previous experiences in the area. One is a sheep shearer by trade. His name's Al, great kid, wanted to learn how to possibly do poultry, see if it was something he wanted to offer his services in the future for other people. And the other guy that came over was named A-Rod. I knew his wife. We had actually traded some tomato starts, some black crims that we had started earlier this spring, and I traded them to her for some rhubarb plants that we didn't have. So I had met them. They were great people. They have a ton of ducks, which is awesome. I love their place. Ducks everywhere. But he'd wanted to learn how to process chickens. He'd processed a duck once at their place, kind of out of necessity. It was sick and he needed to put it down. And he wanted to learn how to process chickens. So his wife kind of volunteered him to come and learn here. How's it going, everybody? Jack here at the Mindful Homestead. It's chicken processing day. I've got A-Rod and Al here. This is their first time processing chickens. I'm not an expert by any means, but working with them, kind of showing them the ropes, letting them get a feel for it, so they can do it in the future. A-Rod's got a bunch of ducks at his place, and maybe chickens. You gonna start doing chickens?
Start on chickens? No.
And then Al's a sheep shearer, and you're thinking of adding chicken processing to your services?
Possibly. I was looking for just the initial exposure here.
Yeah, something to think about. So we're working through chickens. We've got about half of them done right now. You can see behind me we got a cooler, and then we got the trash bag. This is always tough to see where my hands is. Cooler, trash can. We got 29 left out of the 55 we started with. So I'm calling it we're about halfway. We just ate lunch, so we're gonna sit down. We're gonna work on gutting these guys out. We'll show you that process. And then we're gonna get back into the rest of the birds, and maybe I'll show you the process. I don't know. This video may be a little bit graphic. I don't know if YouTube's gonna wanna monetize it, but we'll see how it goes. COVID. So, first you come up to the neck, and you're gonna have a couple things going on here. So you have your crop, which is on the left side. If you're looking at it, the bird's right side usually. You can see it kind of sticks out there. So the crop is a sack that holds the food before it goes into the gizzard. So you don't want to nick this. It's not so bad right now because I withheld feed, but you don't want to kind of stay away from it, and you're going to work around to getting that out.
Is that like the same thing as like avoiding when like Dan was trying to avoid getting all the shit on the meat?
Yeah, same idea. Like it's not too bad, but
just to avoid contamination.
Yeah. So what I like to do is I pick the skin up right here. We go in with the knife very lightly, and then once you open up the neck skin, peel it back with your fingers. And you can find the windpipe right there. And the crop is going to be right here. You can see it. That sack.
This big one right here.
Yeah, and from there the esophagus comes up. Right
it's
there.
It's always on their right side?
Yeah, it's always on their right side. I mean, sometimes it's a little bit more down the middle if it's full, but if it's not full, it usually tends to. Yeah. So there's the esophagus. There's the windpipe. You're going to hook your fingers under the esophagus. So get between the esophagus and the skin, and then grab the windpipe, hook your fingers under both, and then just pull like that. So you've got them out. And then you can kind of like work the crop away from the skin too. Again, way better done with your hands than a knife. There are guys that are really skilled that can do it with a knife, but
you risk damaging the meat.
Yeah, if you open it up. I mean, it's not that it's going to really hurt the meat. You can rinse it off super quickly, but it's just.
No, I meant like literally like damaging the meat with the knife.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that big of a deal. It's more or less just because it's gross than anything else. So that's that. Then you can come in if you want. You can go on the back of the neck and take the neck out. I guess I can do that now. So you come in here. I like to leave all the skin on the body when I take the neck out. So there's all the skin. You just come in there. Once you get it, you can just kind of like break it and try to find a way through the bones. There you go. There's your neck. That's good for stock. So for the tail, I just pull the whole thing off. You want to avoid the vent, but I just come in like that. Yeah, Chloe can. If you're using proper terminology. So that's right there. So to kind of gut them, what I do is the same deal. I pinch the skin. Oh, I'll show you the legs too. Legs are easy. Bend them backwards. So if the bird's like this, bend back, find the knuckle, crack it all the way through. Break it. So for the back end, there's the vent right there. I come in just above it. Again, same deal. Make a little cut just until you get into the cavity, and then rip by hand because you don't want to cut any of the intestines. So you can take that.
Do you have to tie anything off, like similar to a pig or
nope.
a lamb?
No, because you got your vent right there. So what you can do, pull my sleeves up for this part. And it's tough because I have big hands. But the move is go in. So find basically the membrane. Go in, kind of scoop off the top. Work everything away.
Scooping it out.
Yeah. So this is just membrane right there. Kind of scoop away from the back of the breast. Like that. Kind of work it. And then once you get everything kind of pulled away from the inside of the breast, you're going to come back with like a claw almost. Go in, turn on the bottom, and then pull out. And again, I have big hands, so this is really hard. But you're just going to kind of...
Need bigger chickens.
Yeah. You're just going to grab everything. You pull it out. So there's your crop. There's your butt right there. Once you get it out, cut a V on either side of the vent. And there's your whole guts.
No more blueberries over there, Em. Yeah, I know that's what you're looking for. They're all gone. How was your day?
Long. And not done yet. What? You're not covered in dead chicken, am I? I'm pretty like
no, you're
not.
pretty clean.
Yeah, it was long. I ate too much chili at lunch too. Like it was
Chili belly.
Yeah, after lunch was a little bit like ooh. It looks pretty.
It's a chicken poo mud pie.
Yeah, but it's not that bad.
No. It's just because it rained.
Yeah.
Oh, now we gotta plant the apple trees.
Yeah. One right here.
What?
Over there.
That close to my garden?
Well, it's not going to shade your garden because the sun's over there.
No.
It is Sunday, 2 days after the last part of the video that you saw. We didn't get as many birds processed. I was hoping we were going to get everything done that day, but unfortunately we didn't. So today I got my buddy Dan. Where is he? There he is. Got my buddy Dan down here. Dan is a past chef right now. He just lives in the mountains, super mountain man. So I'm expecting big things out of him. I expect him to work well with a knife. You've only butchered chickens once before?
6 birds.
6 birds, one time. Did it by himself, no plucker, no scalder, no fancy equipment. So I'm hoping the 20 or so birds we got left, we can zip right through today. So we're going to get to that. We're going to show you as much as we can. Again, the YouTube rules and regulations and all that stuff don't let us show you everything. But yeah, we've had the scalder on for a while. We've got our ice bath. We've got everything ready to go. I think we're pretty much ready to start butchering these chickens. So let's go do that. So scalding is just 150 degrees. A little bit of Dawn dish soap in the water. And you're just looking for them. I pull off the wing. Some people pull off the back. But I wait until they pull pretty easily. And then I just give it one more dunk. Plucker. That's it. They're all killed, scalded, and plucked. It's time for lunch. Hey, look at this. It's the evening time. So let's talk about how bad of a YouTuber I am. We filmed that bit that you just saw of actually slaughtering the chickens, which is probably going to be edited down pretty heavily. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. You probably saw like a lot of... You probably didn't see really that much. So the way it went was Dan and I spent the morning slaughtering, scalding, and plucking the birds. And we got done with the 20 that we did. It was actually 20, not 19, that we had left over from Friday. We got done with those 20 and we broke for lunch. We made burgers and hot dogs on the grill and hung out with Jackie and Emma. And then we came back and we were kind of in gung-ho mode. We hung around a little bit after lunch. It was like 1:15 by the time we got started again. And we just went to town on eviscerating the birds and then shrink wrapping them with Texas Poultry Texas Poultry shrink wrap bags. They're awesome. If you do your own poultry processing and you don't have a bag supplier, definitely check them out because they're great. So we just ran through it because it's Sunday. Dan has to work tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow, and we weren't interested in not getting all the birds done. So the afternoon was spent just running through the gutting process, and we're both pretty quick on it. I was right when I said that Dan had knife skills from working in a kitchen. He picked it up extremely fast. We had these 20 birds done today. Probably it was an hour and 45 minutes of slaughtering, scalding, and plucking, which actually probably could have gone faster, but I kind of ran them through the process and gave them some pointers at the start. So that took about an hour and 45 minutes. It took about an hour to gut all 20 birds between the two of us, and then it took maybe another half hour to shrink wrap the birds. But even most of that was just waiting for the water to come up to temp and farting around with the scalder because we don't have an electric scalder. It was just a turkey fryer, so we had to kind of turn it on and off to keep the temperature good. So how did our experiment in truly pastured Cornish crosses go? Well, here is an end bird, and I don't know if you could tell from the camera, but it's big. This thing is probably getting on 8 pounds. So at 9 weeks, truly pastured Cornish crosses, you know, we limited feed a little bit. We wanted them to get out and forage for food. They pushed big. They're big birds. I mean, they're not turkey sized by any means, but these things are going to be solid meals for a family. I am impressed with the Texas Poultry shrink wrap bags. I think if you're doing your own birds at home, it's a great way to go. If you don't have an industrial vacuum sealer or one that's just going to rip through birds over and over and over and super quickly, those shrink wrap bags are great. They're not as nice as the ones you would get if you took your birds to a facility, at least the facility that we have around here. Those shrink wrap bags and the heat sealing that they do on them are a little bit nicer, but for farm processed birds, the Texas Poultry shrink wrap bags are the way to go. I can't recommend them enough. They're a great company to work with. They were super good at getting back to us with any questions we had, and I think I placed the order last Friday and I had the bags with our custom labels this Thursday. So great company to work with. Definitely support them. We'll have a link down in the description where you can check them out. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. And this is something that we're going to be looking forward to running a workshop on at our farm in the future. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to learn how to process chickens. It's one of the most asked about topics that we cover here on the channel. So in the future, keep an eye out on our Facebook and Instagram pages if you're not already following them. Why not? Links are down in the description below. And keep an eye out. We're in southern New Hampshire area. We do fun workshops every year where you can learn how to butcher pigs, process chicken, all sorts of good stuff. So keep an eye out for those. As always, thanks for watching. We're happy to have you around and have a great day. Bye.